Texts from ancient often speak of the world of the dead. They describe the appearance of this place, its architecture, the ways to reach it, and even how it is governed. Much of this material is symbolic and does not intend to provide a literal description of the afterlife. However, it is interesting to explore these texts to understand how the ancient peoples of this region imagined the afterlife. In other words, how they conceived of this mysterious region based on certain images and stories. One of the main texts we can consult to access this imagery is the famous Epic of Alda, a story dating back over 3,000 years. It narrates the journey of Alda, a legendary king who ventures into the underworld in search of the secret of eternal life. This may seem paradoxical, traveling to the realm of the dead to discover immortality. But Aldar had heard rumors of an immortal sage residing on the outskirts of the underworld. Determined to find this sage, Aldar embarks on a dangerous journey. Aldar's path is described with geographical precision. First, he heads west to the land where the sun sets, and then he scales a massive mountain guarded by scorpion men. Passing through a portal, he crosses a river of dark waters with the help of a ferryman. Finally, he reaches the shore of the underworld and meets the immortal sage. Upon meeting the sage, Aldar initiates an intense and revealing dialogue. "Tell me, how can one attain eternal life?" Aldar asks, his voice echoing in the dark expanse. The sage, with a somber expression, replies, "Eternal life is not for the faint-hearted. It requires more than bravery. It demands sacrifice and wisdom beyond measure." Their conversation continues, delving into the secrets and sacrifices necessary for immortality. The sage's enigmatic answers leave Aldar contemplating his own mortality and the true cost of eternal life. Another part of the epic reveals the vision of the underworld through the eyes of Aldar's faithful companion, Eshar, who has a premonition of his own death. In his vision, Eshar is taken to the House of Shadows, a place from which no one returns. It is described as a realm without light and sound, where dust and clay are the only sustenance. There, even the most revered priests and kings exist without their crowns, symbolizing the loss of all earthly status and glory. The underworld is presented as an inverted image of the land of the living, devoid of vivacity, movement, pleasure, light, noise, order, hierarchy, honor, or social distinction. However, it is not absolute nothingness, as the dead continue to exist in some form, albeit in a faded manner and without the same vitality as life. I bet you didn't know that this tale really exists. At the end of the video, I reveal names, locations, and information about this tale, and you will be amazed by the story. Another important text is the Descent of Elara. This ancient narrative, etched meticulously onto a single clay tablet, has captivated historians and mythologists alike for centuries. It offers a profound glimpse into the spiritual and cultural fabric of ancient society. This short story, which fits on a single clay tablet, recounts the time when the goddess Elara descended into the underworld. Elara, a deity revered for her beauty and power, embarks on a journey that is both perilous and transformative. Her descent is not just a physical journey, but a symbolic passage that reflects themes of life, death, and rebirth. The underworld is described as a fortified city protected by 7 concentric walls, with guardians watching over each gate and a hierarchy of gods ruling at the center. These walls are not merely physical barriers, but represent the layers of challenges and trials that one must overcome to reach the core of the underworld. Each gate is a threshold guarded by formidable beings who ensure that only the worthy or the desperate may pass. Elara arrives at the entrance to the underworld and is confronted by the Guardian. With a voice that echoes with authority and desperation, she declares, "Let me pass, or I will break down these gates and release the dead upon the living." Her threat is not an empty one. It underscores the gravity of her mission and the lengths she is willing to go to achieve her goal. Faced with this warning, the Guardian seeks counsel from the Queen of the Underworld, Luretia, who is Elara's sister. Luretia, a figure of immense power and wisdom, understands the implications of Elara's descent. She knows that allowing Elara to enter could disrupt the delicate balance between the worlds of the living and the dead. After deliberation, Luresha permits Ilara's entry, but only if she relinquishes her symbols of power at each gate. This condition is not just a test of Ilara's resolve, but a ritualistic stripping away of her divine essence. Each gate she passes through demands a sacrifice, a piece of her identity and strength. As Ilara divests herself of her divine attributes, she becomes vulnerable. This vulnerability is both physical and symbolic, representing the shedding of her former self and the acceptance of her mortality. And it is a poignant reminder of the sacrifices that come with seeking deeper truths and understanding. When she finally meets Luresha, she is weakened, almost mortal. This encounter between the two sisters is charged with emotion and significance. Luresha, seeing Ilara in her diminished state, is reminded of the fragility of life and the interconnectedness of their fates. This vulnerability affects the world of the living, causing a cessation of love, fertility, and growth, highlighting the interconnection of their fates. The story of Ilara's descent is not just a tale of personal transformation, but a reflection of the broader cosmic order. It illustrates how the actions of the divine can ripple through the mortal world, affecting every aspect of life. The descent of Ilara also sheds light on the rituals and beliefs of ancient society. The narrative emphasizes the importance of balance and harmony between the realms of the living and the dead. It suggests that the well-being of the world depends on the proper conduct and respect of these cosmic boundaries. In ancient myths like the descent of Ilara were not just stories but integral parts of daily life. They were recited during religious ceremonies, used to explain natural phenomena, and served as moral guides for the community. The tale of Ilara's journey would have been a powerful reminder of the consequences of hubris and the importance of humility and sacrifice. Artistic depictions of Ilara and her descent can be found in various artifacts. These artworks provide valuable insights into how these ancients visualized their deities and their myths. The imagery often portrays Ilara in moments of both strength and vulnerability, capturing the duality of her nature. Modern scholars continue to study the descent of Ilara to gain a deeper understanding of their culture and religion. Each new discovery adds to our knowledge of how these ancient people viewed the world and their place within it. The story of Ilara remains a testament to the enduring power of myth and its ability to convey complex truths about the human experience. As we explore the ruins and remnants of ancient, we are reminded of the rich tapestry of stories that once flourished in this cradle of civilization. The descent of Ilara is just one of many tales that have survived the passage of time, offering us a glimpse into the minds and hearts of a long-lost world. In the end, the descent of Ilara is more than just a myth. It is a reflection of the human condition, a story of loss and redemption, of power and vulnerability. It speaks to the timeless themes that continue to resonate with us today, reminding us of the delicate balance between life and death, and the eternal quest for understanding and meaning. With Ilara in the underworld, the text describes how the cosmic order is disturbed. In the world of the living, the ox no longer covers the cow, the donkey no longer mates with the she-ass, and the young man no longer joins with the young woman. Disorder spreads, and the other gods gather to intervene, seeking a way to bring Ilara back and restore balance. The land of the dead, despite being called the land without return or the house where none return, is not entirely impassable. The texts show that characters like Aldar and Ilara managed to enter and leave, indicating that, although difficult, the passage between worlds is possible. For they, death was a continuation of existence, but in a faded form and without the intense experiences of the world of the living. The dead needed to be appeased with rites and offerings to ensure they did not return undesirably and cause disturbances among the living. They believed that the dead could return in catastrophic ways, causing delusions, sleepwalking, tremors, fear, anxiety, ringing in the ears, memory loss, indecision, mood swings, a propensity for fights, and even fever. To prevent these spectral returns, they performed proper burials, periodic offerings of food and drink, and replacement rituals for lost bodies. The Kispu festival was an important occasion to ensure peace between the living and the dead, allowing controlled and temporary interaction of the dead during communal meals. Necromancy was also practiced to consult the dead, seeking privileged information about cures, battles, and everyday matters. At the end of the video, we will reveal that this story actually exists and explore the original sources of these tales, explaining their true names and origins. Aldar is actually Gilgamesh, and the Epic of Aldar is the Epic of Gilgamesh. Eshar is Enkidu, Gilgamesh's faithful friend. Elara is Ishtar, and the descent of Elara corresponds to Ishtar's descent to the underworld. Luresha is Ereshkigal, the queen of the underworld. These tales come from ancient Mesopotamian literature, particularly from the Epic of Gilgamesh, which offers a profound window into the beliefs and imaginations of one of humanity's earliest civilizations. And if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and check out our other fascinating videos.